There really is something that happens inside me every October. Fall is when I can go back to feeling like myself again.
After the oppressively hot chains of summer release me from their crushing grasp,
that's when I can be myself again. So now that the weather is nice and dreary and the air is nice and crispy and the vibes are nice and spooky, I want to give you some of my recommendations for some cozy things to do around the apartment on one of these exquisitely rainy fall days. So in this video, I am bringing you into my cozy corner where I'm going to share the things that I personally love to drink, to watch, to play, to read, and to smell that make me feel extra cozy and blissed out for fall. I'll be making one cozy recommendation per category, so at the end of this video, you'll have a solid handful of cozy recommendations when you're done with this video. And if you're new here, my name is Steffi, and this is Hilo, and on this channel I give small apartment styling tips and cozy living inspiration. So my first cozy corner recommendation is something to drink. So this is the Super Latte by Clever. They have a whole line of beverages that are in powder form that you can whip up into a latte. I never in a million years would have thought that a powdered latte would be a good thing, but this is definitely a good thing. And it tastes delicious. It tastes like a little treat without being too sweet, because I hate anything that is too sweet. I drink my coffee black. Black is midnight on a moonless night, as Agent Cooper from Twin Peaks would say. So I'm not typically the type who's into beverages like this, but Clever's Super Latte is delicious without being super sweet. And it also just has this really interesting flavor to it. There's like a nuttiness to it. What I really love is they sell a little milk frother, and if you use the milk frother, it froths up the milk. It makes it so that you can have a nice, delectably frothy latte, just with the use of a magic wand, basically. I grew up watching my dad make super complex looking lattes. Like, my dad makes 2 lattes a day, and he has my entire life. And he has this really fancy espresso machine, and honestly it looks like a nightmare to make a latte with one of those machines. So it's nice to just basically have a powder that I can drop in a cup and then froth it around with a magic wand, and then I have a latte that looks deliciously frothy like this. And I love it because it feels like a little beverage treat. It feels like something a little more special than just black coffee like I usually drink. And especially for fall, it just feels like this really kind of more decadent way of drinking coffee. So highly recommend it. I will link to the Clever Super Latte in the description below. They also sell a matcha latte that I highly recommend too. The matcha latte is delicious. I do think that their Super Latte is more of a fall flavor though, so definitely check it out. I love this stuff. Okay, so my next cozy corner recommendation is something to watch. And the perfect TV show to watch on one of those moody, rainy days is Penny Dreadful. Penny Dreadful is one of my favorite shows of all time. It's a dark, gothic tale filled with witches and vampires and all kinds of things that go bump in the night. So it's perfect for this time of year if you're looking for something a little bit more on the darker edges of cozy TV. And see, the thing about Penny Dreadful is it is so rich. Historically, visually, thematically, and the writing is especially sumptuous. The words and dialogue that the characters say is just delicious to hear. The words are so thick and exquisite that you feel like you're being wrapped up in a blanket of poetry when you're watching this show. And on a dark, rainy day, I personally would love to be wrapped in a beautiful word blanket. And the visuals are stunning too. If you love a good, dark, gothic period piece with Victorian gowns, gas lamps, horse-drawn carriages, and that industrial revolution aesthetic, you'll love Penny Dreadful. Also, if you love supernatural, witchy things, you'll definitely love Penny Dreadful for that reason too. But more important than the excellent writing, the stunning visuals, the supernatural elements, the most important thing about this show, and any show in my opinion, are the characters. You fall in love with these characters. All the misfits and monsters and the powerful female lead at the helm, they all feel important to you while you're watching. It's one of those shows where you feel like the cast of characters become your friends and you'd die for them. Now, I'm purposefully leaving out like specific plot details so that you don't get spoiled if you decide to watch Penny Dreadful. Like, I want you to be able to walk into it without too many details on what to expect. Just know that it is an incredible show. I think it's a very underrated show. I feel like it should get a lot more cred than it gets. And it is the perfect, cozy, moody show to watch on a rainy day. Now, my next cozy corner recommendation is something to play. There are so many cozy Switch games that I could talk about in this video, and I will in future videos, but Witchwood just feels right because A, it is so autumnal. The colors, the overall game design, the music, it is just so perfect for fall. And B, I actually just played it through the second time around last week when I was sick with COVID, and I swear to God, that game got me through COVID. So I feel like I owe Witchwood a lot in terms of my sanity amidst the COVID haze. So in Witchwood, you are a witch who wakes up with no memories, and all you know is this goat is telling you that before you lost your memories, you signed a contract with him in which you owe him 12 souls. So you spend the game exploring this beautiful fairy tale world, crafting potions, fetching items, and completing quests to get these souls for the goat, who is definitely low-key a satanic figure in this whole game. Actually, he's high-key. He's Satan. This is a dark game. I mean, it's beautiful and cozy, and it looks like a wholesome storybook, but there are some straight-up disturbing things that happen in this game. Kind of like how the old Grimm's fairy tales are actually like really fucked up, and the Disney versions we all grew up with are like super sanitized versions of those stories. Witchwood has not been sanitized. It's creepy, twisted, and delightful. And I think my very favorite thing about this game is the music. I could just let the pause screen play as background music in my apartment. The music is so pretty. It's haunting and melodic, and it completely transports you to the fairy tale world of the game. So if you like story-driven games with an overarching mystery, and you also love a good fetch quest where you're running around collecting all kinds of items and potions to help aid you in your quest, then you will love Witchwood. So my next Cozy Corner recommendation is something to read. So I'm not sure if you could say this book that I'm recommending is strictly cozy, but I loved it so much that I just have to recommend it. Honestly, 95% of the books I read are sci-fi, and sci-fi is not exactly known for its coziness, but the act of reading itself is an inherently cozy thing to do. So anyway, the book is called Wake, and it is book number 1 in a trilogy by Robert Sawyer, and it's about a blind high school girl who undergoes an operation to get her sight. But the technology that they implant in her brain so that she can start to see has an interesting side effect. I don't want to spoil it, but this book is so good and so fascinating. One hint I'll give you as far as the interesting little side effect that her sight operation has is it has to do with artificial intelligence. So imagine being a teenage girl and you just underwent this life-changing operation where you get your sight and you start to realize that there is another entity in your brain right now. So that's all I'll say about that. I don't want to give too much away. I highly recommend you check out this book. One of the reasons why I love sci-fi so much is I love the way that it gives your mind so much to chew on, and this one is beefy. But it's also a very approachable, easy read. The main character is so likable and so cool, like she's someone I'd want to be friends with in high school. And she also just so happens to be a genius. Like she's extremely good at math and science, and I love reading a story about a young girl who is a genius in this sense, in the like math genius kind of sense, because I feel like those characters have historically been written for boys. So it was really, really fun and refreshing to get this super genius, interesting, multifaceted female character. So check out Wake by Robert Sawyer. And the final cozy corner recommendation I have is something to smell. Look at this gargantuan monster of a candle. I just got this at Target today and I decided to add it to this video because the smell is perfect for fall, winter. It's forest fir, and I love this scent because it's basically it doesn't smell like men's deodorant, which when it comes to like woodsy scents like cedar, pine, forest fir, you know, any of those woodsy scents, my big complaint, especially for the cheaper candles like at Target, is they often smell like men's deodorant, and I don't want to burn a candle that smells like that. So I love it when I can find a woodsy scent that just smells good and not like a man's armpit. And I'm excited about this candle because it is so audacious. It has 6 wicks. I think that's a personal record for me. I don't think I've ever had a candle with so many wicks. And I think it'll look really pretty on my coffee table or maybe in my kitchen. I'm not totally decided yet, but I just like that this is a big ornate statement and it also smells really good. Now let's light this puppy. Oh my God, look at all those flames. I feel like I'm sitting next to a fireplace. I mean, I don't think it gets any more cozy than this. I'm already getting the scent, that Christmassy scent, you know, it makes me feel so happy. So definitely check out this candle at Target.
Check out this Target at Candle.
I definitely recommend it because it's really pretty and it creates this cozy vibe visually, and then also the scent is lovely. Like I'm already feeling nostalgia for Christmas right now. So those were my cozy corner recommendations. Let me know in the comments below what are some cozy recommendations that you have, like some TV shows, some games, some candles, some drinks, anything that is cozy that can be done in your apartment. Tell me what you love to do. And let me know what you think about this little Cozy Corner series where I talk about some cozy things that I recommend you try and that will really just overall enhance your experience in your apartment. Because there's really nothing like being in an apartment that is beautifully decorated in a way that aligns with your personality, but then also doing the things that just warm your soul. You know, it's like a 1-2 punch. It is the beautiful styling combined with the things that we love to do and have them both just enhance and romanticize our daily lives. Like, I am definitely feeling myself like craving talking about things like that. Not just the aesthetics of things, but the doing of things, you know? So let me know in the comments below what you think. And remember, your apartment is destined to be pretty, and you are pretty powerful. I mean, actually, the pretty powerful part is the stuff we do in our apartment. I've been saying it all along. It's not just that your apartment is destined to be pretty. It's also that you are pretty powerful, and we are powerful by the things that we do and the things that we love. So I just tied it up a nice little bow.